welcome to the lecture series in computer science. We are seeing a series of lectures in the subject Agile methodologies. We will be seeing a topic on about the development, we will be seeing about acquisition, we will be seeing what a refinement is, we will be seeing how it is distributed and what is a deployment, and we will as well see the related knowledge models. As the contents of today's session are, we will be saying the acquisition, refinement, development, distribution, and we will be seeing the 4 knowledge management models. As well, we will be seeing the tools that are used for the knowledge management. So, now what are the 4 different knowledge management models? It is basically classified into 4 groups. One is Mayer and Zach model, which is fondly called as the Zach model, and this model is established in the year 1996. The second model is called as Berkowitz and Williams model. This model was established in the year 2000. The third model was called as the McElroy model, and it was formulated in the year 2003. The fourth model was called as the Wig model. The Wig model was formulated in the year 1993. Now, let us see the Mayer and the Zach model, which is fondly called as the Zach model. The Zach model is one of the knowledge management model. So, the Zach model is extracted from the work on the design and development of information products. The network between each stage is designed to be logical and standardized. In this cycle, the major development stages of the knowledge repository are analyzed and mapped to the stages of a knowledge management cycle. Now, let us see the stages of the Zach management model. We have 5 different stages. One is called as acquisition stage, second one is the refinement stage, third one is the storage and retrieval stage, fourth one is the distribution stage, fifth stage you call it as the presentation or the use stage. My dear viewers, as far as the Zach management model is concerned, it is a very important 2-mark question. What are the stages that are present in the Zach management model? And even in the previous slide, as we have seen, what are the 4 different knowledge management models that are in use today? It is also an important question. So, this Zach model and the cycle that is used in the Zach model is also called as a refinery. So, henceforth the stages of the Zach management model is classified into 5 different types. One is called as acquisition, refinement, storage retrieval, distribution, presentation and use, and the cycle used in the Zach management model is called as refinery. Now, let us see the diagrammatic representation of the Zach management model in detail. As far as the Zach management model is concerned, it is classified into 2 types. One is the sources, other one is users. As far as the sources are concerned, we have the repository of the research results that is available over here, and then from the repository of the research results, because the Zach model by itself is meant to capture the knowledge, and whatever knowledge that is being learned, we are going to manage the knowledge and we are going to apply it. That is the reason of this knowledge management model. So, where can we get the knowledge? We can get the knowledge from the repository of research results. After getting the knowledge from the repository and from the research results, it has been taken by the user. And how are the repository, how it has been extracted to the user? It has been extracted in the form of reports, newsletters and bulletins. So, this is how it has been taken out, the knowledge has been taken out from the sources, it has been given to the users. Now, let us see how the knowledge is being utilized with respect to the ZAC management model. Here, after getting the knowledge, the user is acquiring the knowledge. So, when the user is acquiring the knowledge, whatever contents he grasps in his mind, he will not be using the entire content whatever he know. So, he will be using only whatever is required. He will not be using whatever he knows. He will be using only whatever is required. So, after acquiring the knowledge, he has to refine it. So, the refined knowledge comes over here, and whatever is being refined, whatever is going to apply, he stores it. So, it gets stored. Then after getting stored in a particular place, in a particular server, he distributes the knowledge. And where does he distribute? Based on the distribution, he presents the knowledge. The user presents the knowledge, and after he presents, what happens? That knowledge will be used for the surveying purpose. It will be used for the calling purpose. So, it will be used for the calls and surveys. And then, based on the survey report, the knowledge is analyzed, interpreted, and then it is formulated as a report. How do we report? When we type something, we have a knowledge, we know some concept, and when we know some concept, we will try to implement all the concepts that we know, but we will be implementing it in a sequence. So, when you are going to implement in a sequence, so which means you are refining the knowledge that you have, and you refine it and you start writing. When you start writing in a piece of paper, you will not get the entire knowledge at a stretch. That is, that whatever contents that has been written in a piece of paper will not be error free at the first instance. So, what do? We erase it, we rewrite it, again we rewrite it, we read it, we refine it, again we rewrite it. Similarly, whatever analyzing is being done, whatever interpretation has been done, that has been reported. So, that reporting, for in order to rewrite, we edit, and formatting is being done. Editing and formatting has been done, and after editing and formatting, then that knowledge is being decomposed into k units, into number of units. You can, k is a constant, wherein it is being distributed either in terms of n unit or we call it as k units, and then it is being indexed and linked. What do you mean by indexing and linking? Say for example, you are going to write a reporting, you are going to write a thesis. What do? Initially, what you need to have? You need to have the abstract, and then you need to have the contents, list of tables, list of figures, so on, and then you need to have the introductory chapter, then you need to have the related work chapter, then you need to have the research methodology chapter, then finally experimentation results chapter, then finally you have a conclusion chapter, then we have the references. So, this is the order of writing a thesis work. Similarly, here the knowledge that has been acquired, refined, reporting that has been edited and formatted has to get decomposed into k units, and it should be indexed. That is, abstract should come at the top, introduction to come at the second, literature survey or the related work should come as the third chapter. So, likewise you are indexing, and then we are supposed to link it. Then only we can, when we are reading it, we get a sequence. So, index and linking. Then after indexing and linking, the indexed and linked knowledge units, each and every chapter we determine it as units. So, that units, and then based on the units we get it as we convert it to the online means via web page or via groupware or via using Google Classrooms or through any sort of internet pages. So, after doing this online via web and groupware, we create an interactive selection of knowledge units or been formulated. Interactive selection means we will be the user, he will be given the option of selecting the knowledge units whatever he require. For example, if I want to read a thesis, again a book, it is not always mandatory that I need to start reading from the first chapter. I can start from the fourth chapter, or I can read only the conclusion part. It is left to the discretion of the reader. Similarly, here the user, he will be in a position to select interactively the knowledge units. So, that is called as interactive selection of knowledge units. So, this determines the ZAC management model. My dear viewers, initially you had a resource, you took the contents of the resource from the repository, you call it as a sources, and the users, they will be taking the content in the form of newsletters, bulletins and reports, and then how it has been formulated is what we saw in this ZAC management model. Then the next model is called as the Bukowitz and Williams model. The Bukowitz and Williams model portrays a knowledge management process framework that outlines how organizations generate, maintain and expand a strategically correct stock of knowledge to create value. My dear viewers, what do you mean by framework? A framework is customizable, a framework is tailor made, which means it has been created for the user, it is not a model. From the model, you create it based on your requirement. You are not going to use the entire stretch of model. From the model, you take whatever is required. That is called as framework. Hence, the framework is said to be customizable, the framework is said to be tailor made. The knowledge in the Bukowitz and Williams model, it includes knowledge repositories, relationships, functional skill sets, process know-how, environmental responsiveness and organizational intelligence. My dear viewers, as far as Bukowitz and Williams model is concerned, what are the ways in which the knowledge is included is a possible question. The answer is the knowledge includes knowledge repository, relationships, functional skill sets, process know-how, environmental responsiveness and organizational intelligence. Now, as far as this Bukowitz and Williams model is concerned, let us now see the different stages that have been used. In the ZAC model, we saw 5 different stages, whereas in this Bukowitz and Williams model, we have 4 different stages. One is called as the get stage, second one is the use stage, third one is the learn stage, fourth one is the contribute stage. Now, what is a get stage? The get stage consists of seeking out information required in order to make decisions, solve problems or innovate. The use stage, it deals with how to combine information in new and interesting ways in order to foster organizational innovation. The learn stage, it points to the formal process of learning from experiences as a means of creating competitive gain. Now, the final stage is said to be the contribute stage. As far as this contribute stage is concerned, the contribute stage of the knowledge management cycle, it deals with encouraging employees to post what they have learned to the communal knowledge base. It acts like a repository. Now, let us see the diagrammatic view of the Bukowitz and Williams model. First of all, you get it, you get the knowledge from the repository, you get the knowledge, you use it. When you use it, you encounter certain problems. See, in the earlier sessions we saw something about the tacit knowledge and explicit knowledge. Whatever you learn in the classrooms, when you use it, when it comes to practical experience, you gain more knowledge by working a lot. When you are in the classroom learning, you get only theoretical knowledge. When you implement all those things in a practical session, you gain experience. You fail again and again, then you get the success. So similarly, when you get, you use it. First time when you use the contents, the knowledge, you may not encounter in success. So you learn from experience, you learn from the practice sessions, and then that is called as using and learning. Then after this, what do you get? You get the knowledge. How do you get the knowledge? The knowledge has been obtained from the repository. From the repository, the user gets it in the form of reports, bulletins. So the knowledge that he captures, he stores it, he contributes to the entire world. When you do a KT, or what is KT, my dear viewers? KT denotes knowledge transfer. Supposing if you have been transferred to a different project, and if a junior joins your position, before you could take up your new position, new job role, you will be doing the knowledge transfer to the next junior, whoever is taking up your position. So that is how you contribute the knowledge, which is nothing but this speaks about the knowledge transfer. The KT that is being done in the industries, in the software industry, we do the knowledge transfer. So here, based on the knowledge that you have, you give the access rights, and based on the access rights that you give to your junior or your counterpart, they build or they sustain. What do you mean by sustain? They just keep up, they just maintain whatever is available, or they try to enhance the work that you have already done. So this is how the Bukowitz and the Williams model work upon. Now let us see the third model called as the McElroy model. The McElroy model, it consists of the processes of knowledge production and knowledge integration with a series of feedback loops to organizational memory beliefs and claims on the business processing environment. Problem claim formulation is an attempt to learn and state the specific nature of the detected language gap. My dear viewers, this problem claim formulation may be asked as a question. So it is an attempt to learn and state the specific nature of the detected knowledge gap. Then the knowledge claim formulation, it acts as a response to approved problem claims via information acquisition and individual and group learning. New knowledge claims are tested and examined through knowledge claim evaluation processes. Evaluation of knowledge claims result in surviving knowledge claims that will be integrated as new organizational knowledge of falsified or undecided knowledge claims. Experience gained from the application of knowledge in the organizational knowledge base leads to new claims and resulting beliefs, triggering the cycle to begin all over again. In knowledge production, the primary processes are individual and group learning, knowledge claim formulation, information acquisition, codified knowledge claim, and knowledge claim evaluation. Now let us see the diagrammatic view of the McElroy model. First of all, you formulate the problem, you identify a problem. If you want to do a product, if you want to develop a product, then for developing a product you have a project. For the project, you need to plan accordingly. You need to have a dream, like this will be my product, this is how my product will resemble, so this is how I need to work upon. You need to have a dream. So after having the dream, you need to define the work, you need to formulate the problem. So that is what this formulate problem claim is all about. Then after formulating the problem claim, it is being distributed to individual and group learning, the knowledge claim, and it will be distributed to the information acquisitions. So as far as this individual and group learning is concerned, we evaluate the knowledge that has been obtained. The more and more practical experiences that we get, the more and more we gain knowledge. At the initial stage, when you have been learning about a programming paper, what happens is that as you will be learning the codes, when you try to implement it, you will end up in errors. The more and more you sit and you rectify the errors, the more and more comfortable you become in coding, and you rectified the error and you got an experience. So when your friend or a counterpart, when he makes a mistake, you will be in a position to correct him, you will be in a position to guide him. Similarly, claim evaluation has been done, and that is how it goes to the individual. And when the group member, one of the group member fails in attempting, it is the responsibility of the individual to correct his work from the experience, and the more and more knowledge could be obtained from the codes, that is called as a codified knowledge claim. And this codified knowledge claim, we are supposed to formulate it. Supposing we are going to write the codes, a Python programming, a Python code, the Python codes, you are supposed to indent it. So it all depends on the coding standards, the naming conventions, the how you are going to use it. When you are going to use a variable in the codes, you are supposed to dispose it properly. So that it's an example. So similarly, when you might have the enriched knowledge, but when it comes to implementation, you are going to implement only whatever has been required. That is called as a codified knowledge claim, and that such knowledge has to be formulated. It is called the knowledge claim formulation. And then we have the information acquisitions. So this is the diagrammatic view of the McElroy model. Now let us see the fourth model called the WIG model. WIG highlights the three conditions for organization, such as it must have a business, commodities or services, and it should satisfy the customer needs, the customer desires. The second condition states it must have proper resources. What are the resources? People, proper budgeting, funding, and to implement you need to have such facilities. The third condition determines it must have the strength to act. So now let us see the 4 steps that are involved in this WIG model. The first step is called the build knowledge, second step is called the whole knowledge, third step is called pool knowledge, fourth step is called use knowledge. Now let us see all these 4 steps in detail. As far as the build knowledge is concerned, it is loaded from the personal experience, formal education and training, intelligent sources, media books, and from your counterparts, from your peers, from your friends, from your colleagues. So you get the knowledge and you build the knowledge. Then whatever you have learned, you hold the knowledge for the project that you are going to execute. You might have learned many things, but you have not implemented all those things in the present project. But in the future project, the learnings that you had in the previous project would be of great help. So, such learnings you were holding it in your memory. So, holding the knowledge and you transfer or you transform it to the people in tangible forms. For example, in terms of books, in terms of material, you will become a lead to train your other counterparts. So, that is called the holding knowledge. Then the pool knowledge. What is a pool knowledge? You have the knowledge management system that has been obtained through intranet, through many different books that are available as a repository, database. You can get it from the group of people and it can be obtained through brainstorming sessions. Then use knowledge. As far as the use knowledge is concerned, it has been used in work context, embedded in work processes. So, these are the 4 steps that are used in the WIG model, and it is an important question too. What are the 4 steps that are available in WIG model is a frequently asked question. Now, let us see the integrated cycle of the knowledge management strategy that are followed in organizations. You have an organizational culture. Each and every organization has its own culture of working, the way of working, the methodology that they follow in the work culture. You have the knowledge management team, and these are the 3 points that are highly required for the knowledge management strategy. First point is the knowledge capture and creation. So, you assess the knowledge capture and creation, and based on your assessment you have the knowledge sharing and you disseminate, and then you contextualize, then you have the knowledge acquisition and application, then you update, you again and again the cycle repeats. So, this is called as the knowledge matrix, and the technology that we use happens to be part of the KM knowledge management technology. Now, let us see some of the knowledge management tools. One is the email tool and synchronous interaction tool, collaboration tool for community building and networking, shared documents, document repositories, e-learning tools, calendars, personal, group and corporate, then personal portals. These are some of the knowledge management tools that are available. Now, let us summarize this session. We saw about the acquisition, we saw about what refinement is, we saw about the development, how it has been developed and how it has been distributed. We as well saw the 4 different knowledge management models, and then we concluded the session by seeing the knowledge management tools. Thank you.